Sighting In with Shooting USA. Firearms news and information for America's hunters and sport shooters.
Precision shooters have been doing the math for as long as there have been precision rifles, gathering dope and applying trajectory calculations to dial elevation for the distance and make a point of aim, point of impact shot. Well, the process of gathering the dope and applying the calculations can be a time-consuming operation with the opportunity to miscalculate always present. Well, the people at Barrett have come up with a solution.
The Barrett BORS system. I've been dying to get my hands on one to try it ever since I found it at last year's SHOT Show. Now I know that BORS stands for Barrett Optical Ranging System, but what does that mean? Well, I asked Chris Smith, Barrett's optics manager, to help me understand.
BORS is basically a ballistic computer directly coupled to the rifle scope. It was developed with the intent to remove the need to count clicks.
Well, that's his simple answer, but here's his more detailed answer.
We know how the bullet is going to fly. You know ballistic coefficient and you know muzzle velocity. For the .416, it's leaving out the muzzle at approximately 3,300 feet per second. Now, knowing that an approximate ballistic coefficient of 0.73, you can go through and build the basic trajectory table. By building that table, you can then download it to the BORS system through a USB connection and a PC and this port on the side. Then you go in here and you select whatever car, the .416 at 3,300 feet per second. Go ahead and sight your rifle on target at 100 yards, and from that point, it knows exactly what to do from then forward. So basically, if you have another target at 500 yards, you dial the display until it reads 500 yards, not worrying about temperature compensation or atmospheric conditions and things like that.
Well, he makes it sound pretty simple. Now, my rangefinder's telling me that the target all the way up on the hill there is at 337 yards. So all I need to do is dial the elevation knob until the digital display reads 337. Unbelievable. I just dialed right to a 337-yard shot and I'm on the paper. This thing is going to make life so much easier. Now, I'm sure you can tell by my face that it is cold out here today, and that means the air is dense, and that will affect the bullet's trajectory, even a bullet as fast as this .416. Well, BORS knows the temperature and is making compensations in the information it's giving me on yardage. I got to try that again. Well, here's my 337-yard target, and as you can see, I'm in the black. I guess that Barrett .416 shoots better than I do. Now, one thing you're going to notice from this group is I've got a little bit of spread in windage here. That's one thing that BORS can't do for you. BORS does not read the wind. So you're going to have marksmanship skills to either hold off or dial compensation for wind. But I'd say that's pretty impressive. I know, you may not have your .416 yet, but the BORS has 100 ballistic calculators built in. There are 22 ballistic calculators for the .308 cartridge alone. So with that in mind, I've got us mounted up on an AR-10 to give it a go. This .308 cartridge is going to require a greater number of elevation clicks to get out to that 330-yard mark. The BORS system really shines when it's time to transition from target to target. Moving from 330 to 200 is a breeze. It's as simple as watching the digital display. So the latest effort at Barrett is to create the software for your PC so you can customize the ballistic tables stored inside your BORS unit. You'll be able to make a ballistic table for any cartridge, any caliber you can come up with. So how much are you going to have to come up with to get a BORS unit? Well, the system itself, without the scope, is $1,500. Coupled to a Leupold Mark IV 4.5 to 14 power, you're looking at $2,700 from Barrett.
Thanks, John. Now, while the BORS system isn't cheap, it does give precision shooters first shot on target capability that hasn't been easy to achieve before. We expect it will find a place with our snipers in the war zone.